is an improper charge, and certainly that it is at least very weak, because what we do have now, and these statements are before you, is an extraordinarily strong argument of acting in self-defense, based upon a belief that Mr. Zimmerman, based on his statements in his own words, was in fear of great bodily injury at the hands of Trayvon Martin. The reality of what happened that night is that my client had his nose broken or fractured, and it was bleeding all over the place, 45% of his head, and that his head was smashed against some hard object, seemingly, according to the witness statements that you now have before you, witness 6, 11, and 20, that it was the sidewalk that Trayvon Martin was on top of him, MMA style. Those are the words of witness 20, witness 9, I'm sorry, said that he was pounding on him. Witness 9 said it was what they call in MMA ground and pound. When you get on somebody, get on top of them, hold them down, and wail on them with your hands until they either submit, although nobody knew the rules there that day. My client certainly doesn't suggest in any of his statements he understood rules of MMA fighting. And then there was Mr. Martin. And I don't make light of it when I say that if Mr. Martin was shot because he had broken somebody's nose, and he had gotten him on the ground, and he had smashed his head against a cement walkway at least twice, and if you look closely at the video, maybe some other times, because the side of his head looks scraped as though it went up against sandy cement, then he got shot and he was killed because of his own doing. And that's why you need to be aware of a self-defense presentation apparent in Mr. Zimmerman's statements, and why the state's case is so extraordinarily weak that you should not consider a significant bond. That's why I presented to you, Your Honor.